Okay. Good morning, all. I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in last lecture, last lecture we are seeing the different operation related to a date, time, and a calendar. Okay. Any doubt is there regarding date, time, and calendar programs? Okay. So today we will see the next point, that is shallow and deep copy operation. Means what? It will be the two types of the copy operation. One is a shallow and other is a deep copy. Okay. So a shallow copy is a copy of an object that store the reference of the original element. Means what? Reference of original element means what? The data which we have to enter in that in that program, means we call it as an object. That will be a the reference of that variable will be a stored in somewhere else. Means the single document having the two copies in the shallow copy operation. Okay. To create the new collection object, then occupying it's with the reference to the child object found in the original. Okay. Means what? We have to creating one of the object that can be occupied as two space in our memory location. One is for original, and other will be the reference variable that will be generated after the performing of the shallow operation. Okay. It makes copy of the nested object reference, and don't doesn't create a copy of the nested object. Means what? If we are creating by using shallow operation, we have to creating one of the reference variable. After that, it will be not creating the suppose we want to perform the shallow operation on the reference variable that will be created after performance of the shallow operation. So we can't create the duplicate copy of that reference object. Okay. So if we make any changes to the copy of the object, will reflect in the original object. Means what? Suppose we are doing changes in the reference object. Means the reference object means what? The create after performing a shallow operation, the object will be created. So if we are doing the changes in the reference object, so automatically the original programming, means the original object will be also changes. And we will use the copy function to implement it shallow operation. And next will be the a deep copy in the Python. Means what? A deep copy is a process where we create a new object and add a copy element. Firstly, we will use the deep copy method. Means what? Like a shallow copy, we are using a copy operation in shallow copy operation. In deep copy, we are using the deep copy. Means what? A deep copy means what? The overall element or overall object that we are creating newly, that will be a the all the element we will reflect to the creation of the operation. Means what? Deep copy name indicate that deep copy, we are copying each and every element that will be present on that object. If the element will be a any new object or any new class, it will be also copied by the using a deep copy operation. Okay. So we will see the example for it. Okay, programming window is visible. Okay, so here we will see first a shallow copy operation. So for shallow copy operation, we are using the one of the building model, that is copy model. Why? Because we are performing the copy operation. So here first I am importing copy. Then after that I am initializing one of the list. Here I am taking one of the list to means for performing the shallow copy operation. So after that I am using copy operation. How we are using the copy operation? Copy dot copy of list one means I want to perform the shallow operation on my list one. So for that I am using the copy method for shallow copy. Copy dot copy. After that I will display simply a method means the original element before means copy means these elements, the first my list element. And after that I am using one of the for loop. In that I am initializing for I in range of 0 to length of list means what? The starting element is my 0, and my list will be means the for loop will be executed until my list list should be ended means the eighth element. Up to eighth element my for loop will be executed. After that I will just print list of I means what? The 0, it will be start from the 0 to end location. Okay, and after that just simply print R means it will be for the next line. We will move to the next. And after that I will here taking the list 2 is for our result of the copy one means a shallow operation. So in that I am just passing the indexing value 2 to 0 is equal to 10 means it will be a store the new element or new list up to the 10th element. And after that I will simply write one message after means performing the shallow operation. It will be a display list. Okay, okay, you have to see here the operation output. First my list will be like this: 1 7 3 5 and 8. Okay, and after that the original element after shallow copying. So what I should do here, at least the second location means this location. Why this location? Because we are starting from the one is called as a zeroth location. The first location will be a 7, second location will be will be a 3 at first means my original list. And after performing new element adding in that means we are changing the element, that is second location. It will be a change means what? We are copying each and every element as it is, but we are changing the value. That will be a means what? My original list will be this. After performing shallow copy operation, it will be a the value, that is 3 value, will be replaced with the 10. Suppose we want to change one more element. So list of, suppose, fourth element of 0 means it will be the actually indexing value. And here, okay, list of, sorry, two out of number 1 2 3 4 5 int object. okay, you all are perform this this operation. I will check that what will be the error for this line. Actually, if we want to change one more element in the same list, so what will be the error? I will check. You all are perform this program that is for shallow copying. You have to take the different element for your list and you have to perform the operation. Okay, so for adding more element in the shallow copy operation, we are using the append mode. So in here you have to see here, yeah, here I am just taking list one dot append operation. Okay, and after you have to see here the result. At first my list will be a 1 7 3 5 and 8. After that I will, first of all I will here perform the shallow copy operation. So after that I will be replace the value this at the second location, that is 3, with the 10, and after that I will append the some of the value in my list, that is 4 4 4. Okay, and the after appending my list should be like this: 1 7 10 5 8 and 44. After performing shallow operation in memory location, this value will be stored and this value will be a store, because at first my list will be like this, and after performing some of the operation on my list, or performing shallow operation, my list will be like this. So the this object will be a store at the two, it will be occupy the two memory locations. One is for storing this, we call it as a reference, and this will be our original object. Okay, so any doubt is there regarding this shallow operation? Okay, now we will move to the next point, that is a deep copy operation. Okay, so you have to see here the program for the deep copy operation. Here first we are importing the copy module. After that same we are taking one list and we are performing the deep copy operation, okay, by using deep copy method. Here I am performing the deep copy operation on the list one, means in this list. Okay, after that my original list, I will display here my original list. I will take same for loop until my list will be, means end, my for loop will be executing, and after that same I will perform, that is I will add the one more element here in my list, and uh, I will display that list after performing the deep copy operation, and my for loop will be executed until my list should be, means until my whole list will be a copy to the new list. Okay, after that you have to see here I am displaying simply my original list. You have to see here the difference between the output of the deep copy and shallow copy. Here first my original list will be there. After that my list, new list will be the with, I will replace this element, that is one element, and after that you have to see here the my original list. Deep copy means what? We are totally we have to generate for the main objective or main the object of the my deep copy operation will be the my new list that will be a generate after performing the shallow copy operation, and after that it will be a display my original list. Means what? The difference between these two objects is what? First it will be a store at the, means the original object of my program in shallow copy is my original list, and the reference list is my shallow will be at the second preference, but in deep copy it will be give the first preference to the my list that will be generated after performing the deep copy operation, and uh, original list will be called as a reference variable, a reference object. Not, the program will be a totally same, just we are adding one more, means we are using the for loop for the storage of the my original list. After performing deep copy, there will be a not any reflection in my original list, means we call it as a, it will be the deep copy. Okay, so any doubt is there regarding this deep copy and shallow copy operation? In, but just only difference is that in shallow copy we are not means our original element is or original object, means this list is having with higher priority, and the reference variable, means after performing shallow operation the list will be generated, it will be with a second priority, means we call it as a, it will be a reference object. But in deep copy it will be a opposite, the element that will be generated after performing the deep copy operation, that will be with the first and higher priority, and the original element, means the our original list with the second priority, like that. It will be the difference between shallow copy and deep copy operation. The program will be a same, just only difference we are using one more for loop for our uh, the original list which we will be, which we want to store in the our location for reference. So all of you do the program for this, that is for deep copy. Any doubt is there regarding this shallow copy and deep copy? Okay, now we will move to the next point. That will be a mathematical function. So in second chapter we are seeing the many operations related to this mathematical functions. Okay, means what we all are everyone have to use the math function, means built-in module function to perform the mathematical operations. Okay, so Python have a set of built-in mathematical functions, uh, including an extensive math module that allow you to perform the mathematical task on a numbers. Means what mathematical task means, what we are performing, finding minimum value, maximum value. We want to find the square root or square of any number, like that, all the mathematical operations. For that we are using the mathematical function. So here you have to see here, here I am writing simple example. Means we are using direct standard function to find the minimum value of that variable that we are or we are passing the argument in that, and we want to find the minimum value of that number, like that. So the abs function means what, the abs function is an absolute function. It will be, we call it as a, it will be the positive value. Means it will be a find, means we are using, suppose abs value, method or function in mathematics we call it as a, it will be return the output as a positive value. Next we are here we are having power means power function returns the values of x to power of y. Means you have to say, like we call it as a raised to function, like the x raised to y, like that. Means it will be a power function. Then the square function, square root function, that will be, you are using you are all are performing the program related to square root operation. Okay, then scil cell means this method round a number of upwards it's to nearest integer. Means what, nearest integer means, suppose here I am passing the value 0 to 10, so it will be a return the output and nearest integer number. Means the value, suppose we are passing 10, so in nearest to 10 it will be having the value that is 9, like that. Means what, nearest value that we are entering that our cell. The next will be the method floors. Means what, this method returns the downward to its nearest number. Means what, downwards means what, the suppose we are entering the 10 value in that math function, it will be return the downwards. Means what, it will be return the downwards means 11, or it will be a return the value as a 10 as a sorry, 9 as a output. So here I am giving you a one link, because the mathematical function having more than a 20 different function. So in this list, that all functions are there, because it is not need to cover all the points here. So we will see the program for the mathematical functions. Okay, so first you have to see here, the first program is to find the minimum and maximum. Means what, here I want to find the minimum value from this current tuple, and maximum value from this tuple, and just simply I am printing the values of x and y. You have to see here, minimum value from the this tuple will be the 5, and the maximum value from this tuple will be the 25. This will be a simple function that we are using, like that is here. If we are using directly mean and max function or abs function or any square root function, no need to import the math module. Why? Because this will be the built-in function in that math module, that is minimum maximum. Okay, so next is a abs function. So you have to see here, in abs function I am passing the negative value, so it will be a return the output as a positive value. If suppose we are writing here the positive value, it will be a return same as it is value. No, it will be a not printing negative value, because abs function is totally depend on the positive value. Means we call it as an absolute function. It will be a totally positive function. So if we are mentioning negative value here, so it will be written that value as a positive. Means abs function is totally depend on the positive value. Okay, next will be the power function. Okay, So power means what? We want to find the power of the element. So you have to see here, if in simply in the mathematics, suppose we say that you have to find the power of 4 and 3. So for that we are doing the lots of calculation. So in here we are having direct, we are using the power function to find the power of that number. Next function will be a square. Means what? Suppose we want to find the square of any number. So just here we are importing math function. Why? Because we are having the method, that is math will be one of the methods. So it will be a not support directly, means before here you have to see here the program of power. We are directly using this power method, but for square it will be a math dot square method is there. So for that that reason we are importing the math function here, because it will be a just, if we are writing like this, it will be a not executing, it will be a giving us the error. So for that we are here importing the math function for finding the square of the any value that we are writing in our here the at the point of the creation of the object. Next we are having cell and floor operation. Okay, so in here you have to say here also we are using math function. Why? Because this operation we are not writing like the function that we are writing in like mean and max. So you have to see here the output. Here for cell we are what we are writing, we are writing 1.4, but it will be written output as a 2. Means what? It will be a return nearest number between 1 and 4, it will be a 2. It will be a return nearest number between 1 and 4, it will be a true. And after that you have see the output for floor, it will be a 1 to 4, it will be a return 1. Why? Because it will be a return downwards means what? The we call it as a leftmost element, and for cell we call it as a rightmost element. Suppose here I am just writing like this value. So you have to see here the this will be a giving results. Means if we are not giving the floating point number here, so it will be a return output same as it is. But if suppose here I am passing the a floating value, it will be a, you have to see the difference between the object, it will be a return 2. Why? Because in between 1 to 3 only one element is there, that is 2. If we are writing here 5, so it will be a return 3 or 2. Why? Because it will be a, we can't divide the 5 means 2 in 2 equal parts, so it will be a written as a 2. Suppose here I write 6, so you have to say it will be giving the constant number 2 here. Okay, so this will be the ceiling and floor operation. This all related to some of the power operation. And here I am giving you a one of the link. Just you have to gone through this link. You have to see that. Just you have to see here. Here many mathematical functions are there. You have to see here, like it is almost more than 50. Okay, here more than 50 functions are there related to mathematical functions. So for your homework, you have to perform this all operation in the single program. It will be execute. Actually it is not needed to you have to perform each and separate program for each and every function. You have to perform this all the function program in the single program, and you have to share on your our group. Okay, so here I am giving you the link uh, for the that link for performing the mathematical function operations. So you have to perform right now. You have to perform the minimum, maximum, power, square, and cell and floor. These operations. Okay. Any doubt is there regarding any of the program related to how to write and how to find that values?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you all have to perform the operations. I will share this link on chat. So you have to take that link from chat, and you have to perform all the operation that will be with related to the math module. If you have any doubt regarding any module, you have to ask. Okay, so any doubt is there regarding mathematical function point? How many of you complete the programs?
Yes, ma'am. Complete.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Ma'am, I have sent in WhatsApp.
Okay, no issue. Anyone want to share your screen? Anyone want to share your screen? Okay, now we will move to the next point, that is generate a p pseudocode random numbers. Okay, so many computer application need to random numbers to be generated. Means you have to see here random number means what? We don't know that which number will be generated. It will be, we call it as a random number generation. Okay, however, none of them generate the true random numbers. Means what? You know that suppose I like you have to, everyone know that the program of guess number, you all are, I think so, implementing that guess number program in C also. So we call it as a random number. Means suppose I consider that now it will be a displaying the display the number 2, but it will be a my possibility, it will be a not fixed. So we call it as a random number. We don't know that which number will be the display. So Python, like any other programming technique, uses a p pseudocode random number generation. We call it as a p pseudocode random number generators. Python number generator is a based upon Mishner Twister algorithm. It will be one of the algorithm. Okay, Twister algorithm. We call it as a Twister algorithm. Means what? We don't know what number will be a generated. Okay, what number will be a generated. So the process of 53-bit precision floats means what? It will be a totally depend on the floating point number. Means it will be a generating the precision. Means we don't know what will be the output of our program. So the technique is fast and uh, thread safety, but not suitable for the cryptographical purpose. Means what? We are you know that the cryptography technique is we are using for sending message or receiving message for the in the security, for security reasons. Means cryptography technique is a security technique. Okay, so the p pseudocode random number generator is will be a fast technique actually. But here we are not, it is not purpose to we are passing any message or receiving any message secretly like that. So Python standard library contains the random modules which defines the various functions from the handling randomization. Means what? This will be the one of the, we are using the random standard module, that is built-in module, that is random module for performing the various function that will be handled by the randomized function. Means what? In this random module we are having different functions. So for handling that all functions we are using the a standard module. For that random number we are having some of the operations. First is the random seed. Okay, first is the random dot seed of seed function or method. This function initialize the random number generator. Means what? It will be initialized, just means this seed function is the initialize the random number generator. Okay, the when random module is imported, the generator is initialized with the help of system time. Means what? The means what? The number that will be generated, that will be with our system time. Means suppose my system time will be here, my system time will be a 9. So it will be totally generated the initial value. It will be a totally depend on that time, that will be a 9. Okay, means what? It will be simply initialize. Means seed function is the initialization of the random number. Okay, next next method or next function is a random get state. Random get state means what? This function along with the get set state. Means what? It will set name indicate. Get means what? We are giving something from the program, and set means what we are setting some of the value to our function. Okay, so in reproducing some random data against and against means what get date state and set it will be a totally two methods means what it will be initialize the random number generated means what we are generating or we are assigning some of the value again and again means like you have to consider the example we are solving the puzzle or p pseudocode that will be like p pseudocode like roll of that rules of that puzzle will be what in same row and same column or some like diagnostic element will be not same like that we call it as a we are suppose writing same element in same row or same column it will be a not acceptable or it will be a generating some of the error or our puzzle will be a wrong like that so we are putting values again and again so for that we are using get state or set state method. After that we are having one more random range means random dot range means what this function generates a random integer between given range means what we are providing some of the range like we want to print the values from 0 to 10 only so we are giving the range here and we are just guessing that the sum of the random number will be printed. Okay, for that range function we are having three parameters. One is a start value, other is a stop, and step means what we want to how many steps we want, then stop value means 10 and start value is 0 and step suppose we want the step like after each and every two elements or three elements like that. Okay, so we will see the program. Okay, here you have to see here first here I am taking rand integer method means for first method that will be simply here first we need to import the random. If suppose you are working with the ideally platform so that time first you have to open the command prompt, set the path, and you have to simply install pip install random. Okay, pip install random, and after that we have to perform the all the operations. So you have to see here first operation is random dot rand integer means what we want find the number. It will be a totally depend, it will be a display the integer number that will be a 6 means it is a random, it will be a not fixed which value will be a generate that will be the 6. Next we are having a the next main function that is random range means what it will be a totally here I am passing three arguments, that is first is a starting point, second argument is a last point end point or stop point, and here I will be take the steps, I want the only two steps here. So you have to see here it will be generating three only. Why? Because one is for a start location and my second step will be with end with the two. Suppose here I am writing the steps with 5. So you have to see here after 5 it will be a printed 6 means totally it will be a the all operation will be here range perform will with the third argument that will be the steps. Okay, next will be a random operation means what you have to see here. Here I am not passing any value, it will be a randomly generated this number like 0.5. Okay, so this random function will be not having any arguments or any values. Okay, it will be a simply 0.57. So in your system it will be a generated something different number. Okay, this random function. Okay, after that we are having one more, that is uninformed function. So uninformed means what you have to say here, it will be a generate number 7.002 means what uninformed means it we don't know what will be the output, we are just passing two argument here and it will be a randomly generated this number. Suppose here I will change my number, so the output will be a change means we don't know, it will be unformed means we don't know what will be the output means random. You have to see consider that the name random, it will be a random means any output will be a not fixed, it will be generate any number. In if you have to try to execute this all program, you have to see the difference, your output will be different, your friend output will be different, my output will be a different. Okay, so next will be a choice. Okay, in random we are having choice. Choice function means what? You have to see here. Here I am displaying one of the tuple. Okay, but here I am just using the random dot choice of sequence, but I don't know what will be the output. Can anyone guess what will be the output for this program that is will be a choice? Can anyone tell what will be the output for this sequence of this tuple?
Any one of the number.
Any one of the number, because we don't know what will be print. It will be a print 67. Okay. Now actually now here it will be print every time 67, because once I will compile, it will be a print. Suppose I will take one more time, that is a random dot choice of. Okay, you have to see here. Now it will be a not printing the value with us like same. It will be a, now it the value means, suppose I want the different value for every iteration, so just we need to make the changes in this line only. So now in before my output will be a 67, now my output will be a 88. Okay, so it will be a totally depend on the like choice. The choice function means what? Any number that will be a printed from that tuple. Okay, now next we are having last function, that is shuffle. Okay, we are having shuffle. Shuffle means what? We are using direct shuffle function. Here one list is there, so what will be the output for this a shuffle function? It will be a shuffle whole list, or it will be a display any number. What it will be a return? It will be a shuffle my whole list, or it will be a just simply print one of the number. What will be the output? Hmm? Number. It will be, you have to not understood shuffle. Name is indicate that shuffle means what? It will be a change the overall your list, or you if you are mentioning here tuple. Shuffle operation means what? It will be a shuffle your output. Means shuffle means now shuffle So it will be the shuffle operation means what? It will be shuffle whole string. Okay, string or the value list tuple that we want take here. So these all some of the basic operation related to a random. Actually, we are not using this random function anywhere. Just we are using this function at the time of designing of any algorithm. Why? Because we don't know the possibility of the object or class, the class, what will be the next, like that. So that time we are just using this all random functions. Okay, so that will be all related to pseudocode random number generation. So we are having total 6 operation in that. Okay, what? मग प्रिंट खाली प्रिंट करा की ऑपरेशन random dot shuffle of L. Why? It will be said that none is equal to. प्रिंट हे करा तुम्ही इथं काय करता, शफल काय करताय फक्त ह्याच्यात एल, पण प्रिंट काय केलंच नाही ना. प्रिंट तर रॅन्डम शफल करताय फक्त तुम्ही, पण प्रिंट केलीच नाही ना. हे झालं एक ऑपरेशन झालं, रॅन्डम डॉट शफल हे ऑपरेशन आहे फक्त त्यातलं. आता बघा तुमचं आणि माझ्या आउटपुट मध्ये किती डिफरन्स आहे. माझा आउटपुट बघा 20, 50, 10, 30, 40. तुमचं आउटपुट टोटली डिफरंट म्हणजे शफल झालं. हा येणार की नवीन म्हणजे काय आपल्याला रॅन्डम म्हणजे काय तुम्हाला माहितीये का. मी आता गेस्ट केले काय ते नंबर तुम्हाला कळते का नाही. किंवा आपण जो क्यूब सर्क्युल फिरवतो त्याच्यात तुम्हाला माहितीये का की किती वेळा तुम्हाला फिरवावं लागेल. जोपर्यंत तुमच्या इथनं तेवढे नंबर तुम्ही ते फिरवता ना. म्हणजे काय प्रत्येक ह्याला रॅन्डम नावावरूनच कळते रॅन्डम. आपल्याला माहिती का काय व्हॅल्यू येणार आहे नाही. प्रत्येक ह्याच्यात तुम्ही बघा प्रत्येक ऑपरेशनची व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला प्रत्येक एवढी इटरेशन म्हणजे जेवढ्या वेळा एक्झिक्यूट करताल तेवढ्या वेळा ती व्हॅल्यू जी आहे ती चेंज होणार. Okay, so any doubt is there regarding this P pseudocode random generator program? Any doubt? All of you
No,
done with
ma'am.
the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in next lecture we will see the one of the point that will be remaining for our chapter, that will be the CSV file in Python. Okay, so today we will stop here. If you have any doubt, you have to ask me. Okay, so we will stop here. If any doubt is there regarding any point, you have to ask me. Any doubt?
Ma'am.
Okay, so we will stop here.